Guys, I am absolutely loving the freaking Colorado ZR2. I don't know what it is about this truck. It is just so freaking fun and it's so sporty looking, but these mods will make it look even better. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. Today we are going to take the Colorado ZR2 Midnight Edition and make it a little bit more black, a little bit more Midnight Edition like, by adding some more blacked out features. So let's jump into it right now. All right, guys, so the first mod is going to be, the yellow bow tie here. We're going to cover it up with the black vinyl, same one I had on my red Colorado. You may be noticing there's one missing from here, and it's because my friend actually has a ZR2 Midnight Edition as well. So we bought one pack, which comes with two, and we were both able to do our trucks. But if you want this for yourself, I will link it in the description down below. You can grab these on Amazon. They're really cheap, and they look really good in the truck. Helps cover up the gold that matches absolutely nothing else. So let's get to it. Now we just need some heat on it, shrink it up a little bit, and it'll be good to go. So as you can see there, as soon as I put some heat on it, we start to get the texture to pop out. So it will basically look stock once we do this a couple times. And there it is. As you can see, we got some texture on it. So it literally looks like the same option you get on some like Blazers, and some Silverados come with this. Unfortunately, the Colorado did not have that option, but it does now. And that looks absolutely awesome on the black truck. Great stuff. If you guys are interested in that, like I said, it will be in the description. So check it out. I highly recommend this mod if your truck is pretty much any color. It doesn't really matter. This looks great with black, but honestly, it looked awesome on my red one as well. So check it out. And the second mod today for the ZR2 Colorado is going to be Weathertech side window deflectors. Now I'll put the link for this down in the description below if you guys are interested. These are the really cool side deflectors. There's a couple different brands out there, but these ones are by far the best from what I've read and from my own personal experience. I've used a couple other brands that end up either falling off or not holding up to the sun and actually warping. These are by far the best ones I can find. For those of you who want to grab them on your own, right there is the part number. That will fit any Chevy Colorado all the way up to 2021 at this point. Assuming they don't change anything for 2022, it will fit those as well. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and unbox these things and get them ready for installation. After unboxing, this is what we're left with. A couple instructions, 4 different pieces, 2 for the front, 2 for the rear, and of course this is specifically for the crew cab version of this truck. So if you have the extended cab, this part number will not work for you. This is also for the dark tinted covers. So if you wanted something lighter or clear, that part number will not work for you either. No adhesive at all required for the front ones, but the rear ones do have that yellow strip you can see there. That is adhesive to hold it up inside of the window channel. So before we get these installed, we're actually going to jump into the truck and go up to blackout tinting to get this area here fixed. All right, guys, so like I said, we're heading up to blackout tinting to get some blacked out tinting on the ZR2. I don't know if you guys can see behind me there though. That's my friend back there with pretty much a copy of my truck, and that's freaking awesome. So we have 2 Midnight Edition ZR2s heading up to blackout tinting. If you guys are in the Latrobe area or even close to Latrobe, Pennsylvania, I highly recommend blackout tinting for this kind of stuff because they have some fantastic quality installs. But yeah, how cool is the ZR2? It's pretty cool, but how cool is 2 ZR2s? Check that out. Yeah, that's freaking awesome, guys. And we're back from blackout tinting, and yeah, the truck is fully blacked out. So we are good to go as far as that's concerned. The next step, we're gonna go ahead and get those vent visors on. When we're installing these, guys, what you wanna keep in mind is that this end right here actually has like a little protective piece of clear rubber on it. That actually is gonna sit on the outside of the weather trim of the window. It's not gonna get tucked into the channel like everything else is gonna be. So what we have to do is kind of start with that end and kind of bend everything into place and then slide it up. So I'll show you what I mean here. But we want to place this end right on the channel like this while sliding the flat part into the actual window channel. So as you can see here, this is resting on the trim itself. It's not in the channel. Now with that kind of in place, what we're going to do is bend the top part into the channel as well on the left side of the window. So what we're going to do is just kind of bend this down and put it in the channel so it's like that. And then ultimately we're just going to basically work it in from here. So just like that. Now the instructions specifically say to kind of grab it and pull it out so everything is nice and basically in place. And then we're going to put the window up, and you're supposed to leave the window up for 24 hours just to make sure everything is settled and is not going anywhere. So pretty easy install. As you saw there, guys, literally took me maybe 20 seconds, and that's it. There's no adhesive, there's no anything else holding that in place. It's pretty much held in there with pressure. And here's a real quick shot of the front window done with it rolled up. Definitely looks pretty awesome. And like I said, they're going to be functional. So you'll be able to have the window open about 2 inches before you would have to worry about any kind of rain or anything coming in. Plus, I think they look pretty cool. For the price, the functionality, and the look, I think they're all pretty relative and worth it. So anyway, right here's the back window. We already have it open. So obviously we're doing this one next. Now this one is different, but possibly even easier. So this is the rear window deflector, and as you can see, it has this yellow stuff here. This is actually double-sided tape. It's a real low profile double-sided tape, so therefore it's pretty easy to work with. All this does is slide up into that channel after we remove that adhesive barrier, and it will stick it in place. Now again, what you're going to want to do is after this is stuck in place, you're going to want to roll the window up and down 5 times, says the directions. The 5th time you're going to leave it up for 24 hours to make sure that all this stuff properly adheres. That is pretty simple. I don't know that it necessarily gets any easier than that. So it doesn't even say we have to clean anything. So we're just going to start into this and see what we got. The first step is to remove these protective layers to expose the tape, and that's always a little easier said than done with this stuff. Let's jump forward in time so you don't have to sit here watching me struggle with something so stupid. And we're back. So I got the protective layers off here. Now what we're going to do is just slide it up into that trim, and then we're going to move the window up and down a couple times. So same with the front, we're going to kind of apply outward pressure for a second. And now we're going to go ahead and move that window up. All right, guys, and the front and back window are both done. And like I said, this was literally not even a minute that it took me to do both of these. They look really good. If you ask me, this is something that pretty much every truck should have, in my opinion. I think it looks really cool. And like I said, it adds some functionality, especially if you live in a state like I do here in Pennsylvania. It's constantly raining or snowing or doing something like that. So this is always a very welcome mod. Let's get on to the cool stuff here, guys. So the thing that is really going to take your Midnight Edition Colorado, or really any Colorado you have, to the next level and make it look really awesome. And it's going to start with the wheels. Now, if you have the Midnight Edition like I do, you get the black wheels. So does the Dusk Edition Colorado. And if you have either one of those two, you'll notice something kind of odd. You have this truck that's supposed to be blacked out, and the very first thing that my attention is always drawn to is anything that's not really black or even dark colored. The lug nuts and that center cap. For the most part, that's okay because the Colorado badging here is also chrome, which I don't really understand that either, but that's going to be changing in a future video. So since that's going, this stuff needs to go, and that's what we're going to be doing today. But we're going to be doing it in a really cool way, because normally I would go ahead and add blacked lug nuts like I've done with my Corvettes in the past. Both of my Corvettes have black lug nuts on them to match the black wheels from factory, but in this case, we have something that's even easier, something even cheaper, and something that I never even thought of until I saw it one day by accident on the internet, and I reached out to the owner to see if we could form some sort of relationship, and sure enough, he was interested. So what I'm talking about is what they call color lugs. And you may be asking yourself, well, wait a second, Justin, what does that mean? I'm going to show you what it means, guys, because it is really cool, and it is a really easy way to change the color of your lug nuts without spending a bunch of money. So here it is, guys. These are the color lugs. Now, you kind of probably put it together just based on the name, but you can literally make these almost any color you want, almost any size you want, and all they are is silicone covers that slip over top of the lug nuts. So you don't have to necessarily buy aftermarket lug nuts that may not fit right, may not be as high quality as OEM, and all that possible danger. Instead, you can just buy one of these, slip it on there, and it looks like you have a black lug nut. Now, Color Lugs is a really cool company. Like I said, there's a bunch of different colors right there you can choose from, different sizes, different amounts in the pack and everything. And just like every video I do, guys, I will link all of this stuff in the description down below if you're interested in something like this for your truck. So you can grab the silicone covers, the black bow tie for the steering wheel, the Weathertech window deflectors, and the next thing we're going to do after this will be in the description as well. I don't want to tell you just yet. wait until the end, guys. It's something that is going to hugely benefit the look of your truck, especially if you have the Midnight or Dusk Edition Colorados. But anyway, let's go ahead and put these on. I want to show you exactly how easy these things are to work with. It's insane. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, Justin, if those fit really tight, how do you get them off in order to change your wheel or even get them rebalanced or something? Well, one of the options it can come with is the extractor, and this one has it. All this is basically a little tool that will reach inside of that socket hole, grab that silicone cover, and be able to remove it just by this little red tool right here. I'll show you a little demonstration of it at the end here as well. So as you can see, my lug nuts are pretty chrome at this point, and I don't really like chrome that much, especially on a truck that is called the Midnight Edition. We shouldn't really have any chrome. So what we're going to do is take this color lug, which, like I said, is literally just a piece of silicone, and we're just going to push it on. So just center it on the lug nut, and as you can see, it's a pretty tight fit, and then you just push them down just all the way until it's fully seated on there, and it even takes the shape of the lug nut because of how tight it is. And just like that, we now have a black lug nut, and it's that simple. So you do that 6 times per wheel, and you basically have black lug nuts without having to get any kind of cheap lug nuts that are just going to rust in a year anyway. This is the way to do it. So we're going to do that 5 more times on this wheel to fully black everything out. There it is. That's the final product. It now looks like I have black lug nuts on the truck while maintaining that OEM quality. With those blacked out, there's one more huge glaring problem right there in the center, and that's going to be our 5th and final mod for today, and that is a blacked out center cap. Obviously the center cap is black with the Chevy logo here being all in chrome, and that was fine when we have chrome lug nuts, but now it kind of looks out of place. So let's get that changed out and see how awesome these wheels really look actually Midnight Editioned. Here's the stock center cap, and here's the one we'll be replacing it with. As you can see, it's the exact same thing, same texture in the center and everything. It's just not chrome, it's all black. So removing the stock center cap is a lot easier than you might think if you have some special tools. Now, what I mean by that is I'm going to actually use my radar detector suction cup mount. So this actually fits the center cap perfectly, and I'm not using this because I have the blend mount holding it to my rearview mirror. So all we're going to do is literally stick this to here and then just yank it out, and it will pull the center cap out. Then we can put the new black one in. It's a lot easier than taking the wheel off and poking it out from the backside. It's all about the right tool for the job, and in this case, guys, it ends up being a suction cup mount. So here's the magic that is a suction cup mount on removing a center cap. Place it in, just center it on the cap as much as you can, push it, suction it down, and yank. That's pretty much all you got to do. Sometimes it does take a second to get it exactly right. Just like that. It takes a little bit of finesse, and you probably should clean up the center cap as much as you can. That way this suction cup sticks better, but it does come out. Now we'll just go ahead and snap in the new one, and we are basically good to go with this mod. And that is as easy as placing it and pushing it. So we were good to go now. And as you can see, that is a much more Midnight Edition style looking wheel. So all blacked out, all midnight, along with the windows and the bow ties. This is the way the truck should have come with that midnight package, in my opinion, of course. Like I said, all this stuff will be in the description down below, so definitely check it out if you're interested. But I'm going to do this 3 more times and make sure that the truck is totally done, and then I will catch back up with you guys in a second. Lastly, I want to show you guys how to use the extractor tool. So this is literally it. It's just 2 little curved pieces of metal that you can slip in there, pinch onto the actual piece of silicone, and pull. And as you can see, it comes right off. Now you have access to your lug nut if you need to remove the wheels for any reason, and once that part is done, you can just take that piece of silicone and push it right back on. Very cool stuff from the Color Lug website, guys. Like I said, all in the description down below, and I'll link his website as well for you to check out any colors you want. All right, guys, that is gonna do it for today's video. We have a now massively midnighted truck. Pretty much everything that was chrome from factory is now blacked out. We have the lug nuts and center caps blacked out. We have the windows blacked out to match the factory rear windows of the crew cab Colorado. We also installed some vent shades that are also blacked out that help give it a little bit of a beefier look. And of course, we cannot forget the blacked out steering wheel bow tie that is normally gold is now black, thanks to a little piece of vinyl from Amazon. Check that out. So guys, this is just the beginning. There is a couple more pieces coming that are going to help even more make this thing just midnight. But for now, that's going to do it. So if you guys liked the video, please give me a big thumbs up. Let me know you liked it. Let YouTube know you like it so I can continue to make this kind of content for you guys. If you have any questions about any of the mods we touched on today, go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below, or shoot me an email, horse.power.obsessed@gmail.com, and I'll make sure you get an answer. If you guys have not subscribed yet, please do. I'm going to have loads of Colorado ZR2 content like this coming. You are not going to want to miss. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next upload.